I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, October the 30th. And this cattle board's hard to keep up with. There for a week or so we thought we'd kind of got all this volatility out of it, but this week so far it's been extra volatile. Come down hard there on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday up the limit, really for no better reason than it went down. But up the limit on live cattle on Wednesday, up the $3 limit for several out months there. Thursday back up a few cents, but the out fronts were all down 80 to $1. And feeder cattle, they did about the same thing, down hard on Monday and Tuesday, and then just up 90 on Wednesday on the October. But all the out front months were all up the limit, which is 450. And then Thursday up about, or down about 35 cents late in the day. But it's just up and down, and it's not big ticks, or it's not little ticks, it's big ticks. And you know, I think back whenever I was a kid in the late 70s there, my dad bought a lot of cattle and off ranches in eastern New Mexico there, and he would drive up and down those back blacktops late in the summer and knock on doors, and had old customers he'd stop by and go out and look at their cattle and buy strings of cattle just in a contract book, write them down, give them a check for a down payment, and didn't just keep that book full of cattle that he hadn't sold yet. And then when fall came and the runs got big and Amarillo at the sale barn, he would go over there and start mingling with folks and sell those cattle. And back in those days, Amarillo sold all day Monday, all day Tuesday and Wednesday till they got through, and then he'd find enough contacts to where he'd get those cattle sold and hopefully make more than just a standard commission on those. But nowadays it's just too dangerous. You can't go out and buy any cattle unless you have those cattle sold, or have them hedged until you do get them sold. And just things have just changed so much. You know, back in those days, if the market changed between the end of the summer and into the big fall, you know, a quarter or 50 cents, that would be a big move. But that's before the board took over the trade. But now it's $4.50 one way, and maybe $6 the next, or $3 on fat cattle. It's just so big, nobody can keep up with it. You know, people are getting a little more confidence back in this market. Talking to people in the sale barns, they've got a little bit of confidence, but it's a cautious confidence, and it's kind of like making plans this time of year and outdoor activities. You know, it's really nice right now, but how good is it going to be, you know, down the road? And we're really worried about that. I've already sold the fat cattle for this week. They sold them late Tuesday after the trade, after the board tanked for 2 days solid there, and it was mostly steady with the high end of last week from 136 to 138 live and 208 to 210 dressed. Dressed steer actual weights for the week ending October 17th come out there on Thursday with the dressed steers at a whopping 930 pounds. It just keeps ticking a little higher. Hopefully that'll come down here in the next several weeks. El Reno on Wednesday at 5,200 head. Feeder steers and heifers steady to $3 higher. A lot of the calves mostly 4 or 5 higher, but spots up to $10 higher. And you look now, it's just a few weeks ago that none of the cattle went over 5 on the steers, averaged over $2. Now all those steer, good quality steers, are averaging over $2 all the way up to 700 pounds. So that's big. Cattle Market Central, look at Salina on Thursday. Had 54 head of calves weighing 561 at 223, and that's on the upper side of the fives. At Bluegrass Stockyards in Stanford, they had a load of steers weighed 659 at 209.75. Check out DV Auction on Thursday evening and all day, or Friday evening and all day Saturday. Oaks Brangus out of Grantville, Georgia, having a big production sale. And that's the end of this market. We'll talk to you next week.